Who is Darwin Nunez, the young striker that everybody wants at their club and has been linked with Chelsea amongst other top-tier Premier League clubs? Should Chelsea be looking at this young striker with an incredible strike rate that's got a better league record than Erling Haaland this season? Or should they look at the players they've already got? And I include loanee Armando Broja in that list. In today's video, we're going to be referencing an article from the Metro talking about this transfer story. Then we'll reflect on the numbers from Darwin Nunez, and then we can talk about how he would potentially fit in to Thomas Tuchel's team, or at least who would make way. Well, I hope you're comfortable. Let's jump into this article and find out a little bit of information. Benfica striker Darwin Nunez addresses Arsenal, Chelsea and Man United links and responds to Jurgen Klopp's praise. Written by Louis Seeley. Darwin Nunez has responded to praise from the Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp and insisted his focus is performing on Benfica rather than a potential summer move to the Premier League. As you would imagine a young striker would say, not, "Oh, button this mate, I'm off to the Prem for the big P's." Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester United have all been linked with moves for Nunez, who has scored 46 goals in 81 appearances for Benfica. The Uruguay international has been a mainstay in the Benfica side since his move from Almeria in 2020, enjoying a breakthrough season with 32 goals in 37 games in all competitions. And we're going to look closer at that in just a moment, and actually it gets better. Nunez scored 2 goals in Benfica's Champions League quarter-final tie with Liverpool and received glowing praise from Klopp ahead of the second leg. Extremely good-looking boy and a decent player as well, Klopp said earlier this week. Really good, I have to say. I knew him before, of course, but he played pretty much in front of me with these tough battles with Canate. Physically strong, quick, calm, with his finish. Good, really good. Obviously, how you say in these situations, if he stays healthy, he's got a big career ahead of him. Fine praise from Jurgen Klopp there. Nunez has welcomed the praise from Klopp, but has remained tight-lipped of a potential summer move, insisting his mind is on Benfica. Speaking to TVI after Benfica's Champions League clash with Liverpool on Wednesday night, hello there mate, just a quick reminder to please do drop a like on this video, and why not consider subscribing if you're new to the content. Daily videos, of course. Cheers, mate. The 22-year-old said what the Liverpool coach said, as well as our coach, I take as a compliment, but my mind is on Benfica. Until the season is over, I won't say anything, and I'll leave everything for this shirt. My job is to continue like this, to take advantage of the luck that is happening to me. Luck and hard work, mate. I mean, this is not the kind of comment that disheartens fans of clubs that hope the player comes to them. Because what would you make of the character of a player that went, to be honest, mate, I want to get out of it? Do you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of Ivan Toney at Brentford. He is so keen to get out of that club. He's always talking about like, oh, no one big. I play for no one big. How can you say that? Anyway, I digress. Let's read on. Last year, I didn't play at all. But this year, I'm having an incredible season. I have to continue like this, and there is also a lot of merit from my colleagues. Benfica are believed to be willing to sell Nunez this summer for around £60 million, and the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, United, and Paris Saint-Germain are keeping tabs on the situation. Last week, Nunez confirmed he was changing agents. Writing on social media, I want to clarify that I will not renew my contract with my representative, Edgardo La Salvia. Having an amazing season, changing agents, massive opportunity to move to a big club. Look, it's very easy to get overexcited in these situations when someone has an amazing breakout season. Andrea Belotti at Torino. Remember, he scored like 25 league goals and got a few assists, and he was being linked with Chelsea. And what's happened to him since? He was early 20s as well. But for the sake of it, let's get wound up and excited because this guy has an immaculate scoring record. Listen to this. In Liga NOS this season, he's had 20 appearances and scored 24 goals and 3 assists. 27 goal involvements in 20 appearances. That is insane. Not only that, he scored 6 goals in the Champions League in just 6 appearances. When you have a goal a game in the Champions League at the highest level, that is Erling Haaland vibe. Now let's talk about Erling Haaland. Another young striker, of course, linked to Chelsea. He has an amazing record too. 16 league goals in 16 appearances. So he has got a goal per game, but still that's not as good as Darwin Nunez's 24 in 20. In fact, Darwin scored 24 goals in 1,600 minutes, whereas Erling Haaland has scored 16 goals in 1,400 minutes. That ratio is incredible for Darwin Nunez, and yes, of course, it's at a different level. Liga NOS is not the same level as the Bundesliga. I think the Bundesliga is like the 4th most competitive league in Europe, and to be honest, Liga NOS might be the 6th. So they might not be that far away from each other. There might just be Liga 1 in between them, you know, France football. Also worth mentioning, Erling Haaland's got half the amount of goals as Darwin Nunez in the Champions League, but's played less. Look, I'm not necessarily out here to compare the profiles of Erling Haaland and Darwin Nunez. We're talking about what excites people, and of course that's goals and assists and how long it takes you to get said goals. Chelsea have created a lot of problems. Historically, we've got a lot of problems with strikers. So you might ask now, alright, £60 million. That's pretty reasonable. That's pretty much what Chelsea-ish played for Morata, if memory serves. And Morata never really scored a lot of goals before he came to Chelsea. We bought him because he was young and he'd played for Real Madrid and Juventus. Like, right, okay, young guy who's played for big clubs, who's for sale. We want to replace Diego Costa, let's just buy him. Didn't work. And let's not get started on Romelu Lukaku. Or actually, let's. For Chelsea to buy a new striker, people would have to go out of the door. So what are you thinking at this point? Well, up until recently, it looked like a certainty that Timo Werner was gone. But the last 2 games, he's looked really good. And to be honest, if we reflect soberly and really think about it, Timo Werner has always offered something to a coach, even if he frustrates in terms of his finishing and perhaps sometimes ball control. But he'll run to the end, he'll work the channels, and he'll basically do his primary task in the system. Maybe not his primary task in scoring goals, but of course he's been good against Southampton and Real Madrid. But if we've learned something about Timo Werner over his 2 years at Chelsea, he's good against Southampton and Real Madrid. Prove it against some other teams now, mate. Of course, as well, many Chelsea fans expect Armando Broja to be considered coming back to Chelsea next season. And to be honest, if Armando Broja is sold, we'd feel, I'm speaking for most Chelsea fans here, I think, we'd feel pretty frustrated about that. But then again, maybe he should go on another loan, maybe not to Southampton. If he's happy to go, away to Vitesse Arnhem in the Eredivisie, maybe he's happy to go to, like, I don't know, a Dortmund if they'll take him, or an RB Leipzig, a higher level of football, for a season-long loan. But then again, if Chelsea are going to keep Kai Havertz, who can play anywhere across the front three, if Chelsea are going to keep Timo Werner, who, let's be honest, can play anywhere across the front three, maybe there's space for Darwin Nunez as well as Armando Broja, just more attackers, because if you think about it, really the only 2 shoo-ins in the attack are Mason Mount and Kai Havertz at the moment in, spaces of 3. And to be honest, Mason Mount can drop into the midfield and play in a 3-man midfield or play as an 8. There's probably space for other attackers. There's a chance that Pulisic will go, so that will make a space for a new attacker. And whether it's feasible or not, there's a big chance that Romelu Lukaku could go. Now, of course, that won't be easy. Romelu Lukaku would cost a lot of money, and to be honest, Chelsea would probably have to be prepared to make a little loss on him. They signed him as their record signing for £97.5 million, certainly a lot. And really, he'd have to be sold for a lot. Clearly, it's not working, and clearly he doesn't fit the system, but also, let's pay him his dues. Clearly this guy is a very effective player when used appropriately. Just look at Everton, Belgium, Inter, and very rarely Manchester United. But this guy, when utilised appropriately, can play very, very well. Essentially, whenever he's managed by Martinez or Conte, and I say Martinez because of both Everton and Belgium. Look, man, Lukaku's a great player. He's world class at what he does when used appropriately. I'm not condoning any of his behaviours at Chelsea regarding the interview, and I'm pretty much happy to admit that it's not working for Romelu Lukaku at Chelsea. But can Chelsea sell him? The truth is, Chelsea probably could sell him. PSG are interested in him, and you could understand why. They'd want like a big, talismanic style goal scorer after Kylian Mbappe leaves, if indeed he does leave, which by the way isn't a certainty anymore, because even when you're the richest kid in the world, money still talks, and apparently PSG could be cooking up a ridiculous offer for him. But if he does go, Romelu Lukaku would probably ask for half the wages as Mbappe would cost. And I reckon the PSG fan, obviously he's a French speaker, Romelu Lukaku. He wants to win more trophies in his career. He's pushing 30. He's still only got a couple of trophies. this would be a great opportunity for him to just clear up domestically in France, scoring loads of trophies and lifting constant league titles and cups and whatever. It might suit Lukaku. Chelsea, no matter what loss they're willing to accept, you'd imagine, and in fact you bet your bottom dollar that they'd get at least enough to cover Darwin Nunez at £60 million. Chelsea could probably get £75 million for Romelu Lukaku, maybe, if indeed they're able to sell him. But you have to assume at this point both the player and club are done with this situation. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Darwin Nunez, young player, breakout season, insane, incredible scoring record, like mind-blowingly good. What do you think? Could this work at Chelsea? Is this something Chelsea should be looking at? Comment down below, let me know your thoughts on it, and should Chelsea be going for this player? Thank you all for liking, commenting and subscribing, and I hope you enjoy the content. I look forward to your feedback. See you very soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.